Attention to all dreamers with a vision. Is your vision stationary or on a standstill? Well, you have come to the right place. Embrace your vision with Mandy Sigauke, a multi-talented, phenomenal lady and a holder of numerous portfolios. She is a powerful motivational speaker, life and business coach, marriage counselor, narrator, and a preacher. Moreover, she is the director of Mansig Boutique and Mansig Events. For those vying for classic and modern weddings, she is the perfect person to consult, as she is a wedding planner. She is also an upcoming author on the verge of releasing her new book, Journey to be a Successful Woman. So do you have a vision at all? If yes, with Mandy, believe in your vision and do everything to turn it into reality. All you need to do is simply like and follow her Facebook page at Embrace Your Vision with Mandy Sigauke, and stay tuned to all the weekly teachings and seasons as you embark on this journey. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. Coming up next on Embrace Your Vision with Mandy Sigauke.
Evening, our viewers. Welcome back again to this live coaching session as we are going to be talking about the power of failure. One may ask, is there any power in failing? And this is what we are going to be unveiling, talking about different things that we may do, that we may fail. Many times we have failed, and some people have just accepted defeat and given up. But I want to say there is power in failing. If only you can learn from that failure, you can learn from that mistake, you can be able to make history, you can be able to say some things that will encourage other people who would encounter the same failures, the same mistakes, and it can be your stepping stone to great success. I have put a definition of failure as simply put, failure is the lack of success. When we are saying one you have failed, we are saying you have lacked success. You haven't been successful in whatever that you are trying to do. So we say you have failed. And many people have been labeled to say you are a failure because they've never been successful, or they have failed because they did not get the expected results. But it's one thing that we need to know, that it will always happen. But how do we do it? Let's see the positivity in failure and talk about that power in failure. Sometimes failure seems to be more public than success. When we are more successful, when we are being successful in life, people, they don't talk much about it. They talk more about when we fail. So failure, it's more public than success. People want to point where we have failed. It's very easy for people to check your mistakes, talk about your mistakes, much more than your successes. Have you ever realized that the things that trend, the things that go viral are things where mistakes were made, and people love to make it public? They love to talk more about it, more than success. Or at least that's what we perceive it to be. We perceive success to be more public, to be something that failure to be more public than success. And most of our times we focus more on the failure than success. And most of the great men, the great women that were supposed to be doing wonders in this world have stopped doing, and people, they don't even know about them because they dwelled more on their mistakes, on what they failed, more than the successes that they made. But tonight we're saying there is power when you realize in that failure, when you take it, positively, to say, I'm going to learn from this, I'm going to do this. The simple truth is that no great success was ever achieved without failure. At one point, you have to fail, then you can be successful. So no great achievement. There are so many people that we are going to focus on that did not make it in life, that failed at one point, but now they are known, they are very famous, but they once failed. So in a road, to that vision, when you want to be successful, you should know also that failure is inevitable. It's something that has to come in one way or another. You have to fail. So it may be one epic failure or a series of failures. What happens is that you can fail now, or it can be a once-off thing, or it can be something that continuously happens. It can be a series of failures. But believe you me, you are on your way to achieve great things. I remember when I started my business, running my boutique business, I did not calculate for all my things, and I started to have losses and fail in most areas, until I learned. I think it was a period, some months, 2 to 3 months, until I learned from those mistakes. Now I'm in a position to help someone who's starting a business, to tell them that failure is inevitable. It's something that will always come. But what do? We need to learn and know that we don't start by being successful. Yes, some can start by being successful, but you should know that the greatest achievements in life, people have been through some failures. So it took me time to learn from those mistakes that I made. At one point, when I didn't even have money to pay the rent, when I didn't even money to run that business, and I was having a reflection to say what really happened, and I saw that I had made a lot of expenses. There were many overheads. There were many mistakes that I had made, which were now causing my business to crumble. But I did not dwell on those failures, on those mistakes. I just had to pull myself together, learn from those failures, and start again. And now I can safely say that I'm enjoying the profits, I'm enjoying the benefits, and I can teach someone, knowing that with confidence that failures, they're inevitable, but you can come out. And I can also warn someone before they get into that same problem, before they fail. So sometimes it's very good to fail, because it will help you even to be an example to other people, and it will help you also to teach them before they make such mistakes. So it comes as once off, or it can be a series of failures where you'll be failing, but then you see that eventually you'll be able to achieve your goal. It's not easy. It will be having some challenges, some failures, but you need to know that you have to keep at it. You have to continue, you have to pursue, you have to endure, and you have to learn, and then you can be able to achieve. Success and failure are born of the same mother. What I've learned is that it's just success and failure, those are the same things, they happen. But what we need to know, we need to learn from children. I mentioned that children are not afraid to fall short. As they are growing up, you can see that countless times as they try to stand, they fall down. Countless times as they try to walk, you can see even their teeth, coming out, even their mouth, bleeding, because their lips bleeding, because they've fallen, in a hard way. But you don't see that baby sitting down. No, you see them again trying to walk till they can now walk without falling. So we should learn, riding a bicycle, tying shoelaces, all those other things. Have you ever thought the time that you wanted to ride a bicycle, how you fell down and it was terrible? Maybe you hurt your knee or something, but you kept at it, and you eventually can now ride a bicycle. You can do it nicely. But as you look at children, they should inspire us to see, if even if they fall, sometimes you see them again doing it again, until eventually they can learn. They are now able to walk, they are now able to do other things that they were not able to do. So we should be resilient and never give up. In as much as we have felt, and there's some things that have discouraged you, maybe it has been a series of failures, but just think of a child, how much they fail, how many times they fall down, how many times they fall, but they just continue. So you should have that resilient spirit. You should never give up, because babies, they never give up. They're an example that we can learn from. Most of the times you see them falling, sometimes even hurting, sometimes having plasters, trying to walk again, but eventually you can see that they walk. So as you are embarking on that journey that you really want to be that person, that great person, as you are starting that business, as you are running that thing, though I don't know what you're running that firm, as you are doing everything that you're doing, that you're starting, you need to know that failure is inevitable, but you need to know that there is power in failing. The moment that you are able to deal with a mistake, you then see yourself progressing. So be resilient, never give up. They embrace failure and adapt until they achieved the desired result. That's what children do. They embrace failure until they adapt. That's what they do. So you should be in that position where you say, until I adapt, until I'm able to run this business, until I'm able to achieve this goal, I'm going to be on it. I'm going to embrace this failure until I adapt. And at the end of the day, I know that I will not be labeled as a failure. Surely I'll be able to achieve my goal, So sometimes instead of learning from failure, sometimes as adults we get discouraged to be repeating the same mistake. Sometimes we don't want to fail. The moment as adults we fail, we feel that we are not strong enough, we are not competent, we cannot do it. But you should have that attitude of a child to quickly adapt, to be resilient, and to never give up, but to keep on it. Errors can only reflect negatively on our intelligence and on our self-confidence, on our self-esteem. Sometimes when we make mistakes, when we fail as adults, it is something that it does it affects our self-esteem. We are no longer confident. We no longer have that confidence to say, I can do it. Some people who start to look down upon themselves, they think that they cannot do it, they cannot achieve anything. They start to feel that they are failures, they label themselves as failures. But we should know that failure should not affect your self-confidence. It should not affect the way you see yourself, the way you view yourself. In fact, it should show you that you are courageous and you can be whatever that you'd want to be. There are advantages of failure. It's not just a bad thing, but there are advantages. The advantages of failure is that it softens the heart and it develops maturity, it broadens your thinking, it offers insights and prompts innovation. The moment that you fail, it develops your maturity. You start to grow. You don't come back again and do the same mistake, but you correct it. The moment that you correct it, you see that you are growing, you are developing, you are being mature now. You don't do the same mistakes that you did before. You see our parents, and sometimes maybe people who have been in business for a long time, they will have a way of addressing things, they have a way of dealing with things because they have been there. And they understand that failure is sometimes it happens, but the way that they have learned and the way that they now correct it, they are now so mature because they have been through it all. And sometimes it prompts innovation. The moment that you start to fail, it gives you other ideas to say, okay, let me correct it, let me do this. You become innovative to say, okay, these things that I tried to do, they did not work, but now many ideas, many things, can I not invent it this way? Can I not do it this way? You start to change your approach, the way that you do things. So you become so innovative because now that you have failed, you know that you have to think outside the box and do something that is so exceptional and not repeat the same mistake that you made. So failure, after all, it helps you. It prompts you to be innovative. It broadens your thinking. You know that, oh, I didn't plan this correctly. I didn't think through this thing. I just ended up doing it and I failed. But now that I've seen that, this was my mistake, now I can correct it and start to think, what else can I do? How else can I develop those things and which other methods can I use? Then at the end of the day, you see that you will be successful. Your mind said you have been programmed now for success. It has changed. You are now developed. You are now mature because you have been through failure. And now it has broadened your thinking. It causes you to be so innovative. It also reveals the ability and inspires, reinforces the need for risk. It builds courage. It opens other opportunities. The moment that you fail, other opportunities are now opening. You start to say, oh, okay, let me do this, let me do it this way, let me do it this way. So it's good to fail sometimes because it opens doors for other opportunities and it makes success sweeter. If you have never failed, you can never feel the sweetness of being successful. The moment that you fail and you correct that and now you become successful, you will see that it will be sweet. You enjoy. People who have been through a lot, people who have failed a lot, when they achieve, they don't take for granted their success. It becomes sweet. They enjoy that, oh, I made it finally. I've been through a lot. I've been through this, but I've made it. At the end of the day, I enjoy it. It makes success become so sweeter. And it also brings unexpected benefits. You benefit from, failure. Now, sometimes some people, they have used their failures, to reach out to other people, and they are known that at one point in life they failed. Some people, they took those failures and started to see other angles that they can do in life, other things that can do because of just failing. So like I was sharing with you that when I started that business, I was completely failing. But when I said, let me correct it, I think I didn't do my market research well. I think I did not price well. I think I did not do this well. And I also think that I should also market to those people. It broadened me. It helped me. Many doors opened, many opportunities opened. And I saw that my other mistake was I was just doing things alone. They say no man is an island. I had to network and see how others were doing it, learning from them so that I can be also a success. And when I was doing that, I was opening doors of opportunities, doors of networking, learning from other people, doing other things now, seeing, oh, this is where I made a mistake. And you see that sometimes failure will help you to see areas where you need to improve yourself. And when you improve in those areas, you are now able to connect with other people in next levels, and you are exposed to other opportunities that can come. But if you say, because I failed, I'm not going to be doing anything, because I failed, I'm just going to be seated down, I'm not going to be doing anything, you will then see that you will definitely be a failure. But if you say, okay, let me take this as an opportunity for me to improve, to develop, to grow myself, so that I can be that person that I've really wanted to be, you see that many doors will open, you achieve a lot. Successful individual groups or organizations fail much more, they succeed. All the organizations that you see, individuals that you see that have been successful, if you sit down with them, they'll tell you that they have been failing a lot. So you need to know that, failures, they are there, failing is there, but how you handle it. If you take it in a positive manner, there's going to be power in that failure. There will be power. You see the power that is there in failure, that it will make you expand, it will grow you. However, their largest success derives from the fact that they fail well. Yes, it's good to fail, but you need to fail well. The difference lies in their perception and their response to failure. How do I fail well? By the way that I'm going to respond in my perception towards failing. So you need to fail, but fail well. Don't say after failure you are down and you can never rise again. But choose to have a different perception, a different response to that failure. To say, okay, I failed, but I'm going to fail well. I'm not going to let this bring me down. I'm not going to allow this to, demotivate me. I'm not going to allow this to strain me. I'm not going to allow this, to destroy the vision and the dream that I had inside me. But I'm going to take this and use it to my advantage so that I can be a better person. So how we respond to failure, it makes it failing well or even failing dismally. But you need to know that your perception and your response to failure it has got everything to do with your future success. So your perception has to change. You know, some people, they treat failure as a process. So it's a process to your success that you really want. So when you fail, just tell yourself, I'm in a process. I mean, you know, I'm still there. I'm being processed, you know, to be that goal, to be that what I really want to be. So you take it as a process. Understand why you made the decision you took based on the information that you had. You know how to fail well. You have to appreciate that failure is unavoidable, it's inevitable. It's a single event, it's a stigma, it's an enemy, or it's final. You have to know that you have to appreciate that failure is unavoidable. Sometimes it's just a once-off thing that we all have to go through in life. If I am going to ask you to say those who have never failed in life, are they people that have never failed? You see that everyone at some point they have failed. So appreciate that failure is unavoidable.
Stay tuned for more.